kakati today nze nababala nabagamba let me tell you Bobi Wine was harassed, tear gassed, and I warned him when you got to Kayunga you were going to die. And I told Bobi Wine, it's not Museveni who is harassing you. The Mafia gang want you to be killed to overthrow Museveni's government. Bobi Wine namulaba. Don't go to Kayunga sasiri amuyitawa. Ngabo baagala banga nebagamba tebukenya bamukwata nebamuteeka mu kkomera. Bali baagala afiire mu kkomera bakwate omulambo gwa Bukenya bakuyingiza ekibuga Museveni ago. A person came to me, told me, tell your boss, Bukenya should not get food from home. I saved Bukenya.
Nachulira. Okay.
Kakati, let me tell you.
Yes.
I said, because when you analyze the type of mafias we have in Uganda, they are commercial agents. Empenkoni, lavish spending, baina abana, kandi omwana wasomawa, asoma ha. Abantu baina family where baina chi. Do they have factories here? Have we? Ugandan mafia is not comparable to the Italian mafias. The Italian mafias developed in Italy. Why? They invested in the capital.
Okay.
The British primitive capitalism developed in Britain. These are scavengers. Wait.
Yes, sir.
These people cannot survive. They steal from government. Their gold mine is government. They will create all excuses to steal from government. I know the Ugandan mafia. They turn calamities into gold mines. COVID, never said, never tap, never talk. The organic case and the mafia's reason beyond human imagination. When I come out and say it, there is a cooperative trade in human organs. Nobody listened to me. I was watching them yesterday. The case has reached the final one. What do you have them meeting? Did you have a meeting yesterday? I was watching them. Mirundi is involved, but I'm not involved. One, you cheated yourselves. The Chinese gave you money, you raised $30 million instead of paying the lawyers. You paid 10 billion to newspapers, the media in Uganda. They didn't give me any money. How much money do you get from the Chinese before you fled? How much money do you get from Oman? Blame yourselves, not me. Me, I told you I never give evidence against you. Never panicking. Kati nkugamba.
Yes, sir.
Tije nabategeera nti Bobi Wine is serving security, not tear gas and related equipment. Tebayinza kukkiriza. Ne baleeta ebijambia Museveni n'abakwata. Ne batta abaana ba akasajja kabukeddeko kulibye singa mukakwata ne ziri baggwa kamanya abatemu ba ne twagala kabeerewo ffe tuli kayola mu gavumenti yaffe
weekend yennyini
nkunyonyola totegeera nti myai knew to these people Bobi Wine prayed them good to starve security. Tewali tear gas ne baleeta beesiye ne mukuba ne gurupu ye red card. How can you give a person a player red card after the match? The people who can give a president of Uganda red card are the voters. What they have done is cause this. The only statement, a factual statement I've heard from the Uganda police is to say that these are local terrorists. These are commercial terrorists.
Yes.
Do you know what they want? Me, two weeks ago, I returned my government vehicle to State House.
Right.
2 weeks ago, I impounded all of my taxi vehicles. 2 weeks ago,
yes,
I impounded all of my private cars. I'm moving in hired vehicles because I knew
they are going
to attack a transport. After having been denied revenue from Bobi Wine, because government pays a lot of money on security. Museveni operates like a human body. A human body, blood goes where it is needed. aba security babedde staffed.
Kino ekya bus kyoliko nti baatakinze transport sector.
Negimanya. Ask them. I sent their vehicle, a government vehicle, 2 weeks ago, back to State House, and I told them, what I want, I'm scouting from my security allies, a military driver. Why did I do it? My car was supposed to be the first one to be targeted.
What to about police?
I have Miso. Mbabazi told it to Mwebazi. That man has a wide network and he dwarfs all the security organs. Ask them, whether 2 weeks ago I did not return your vehicle. And I insisted, I'm scouting for a security, a soldier driver. And I alerted my allies in the security for military police driver. 2 weeks ago,
yes,
I impounded all my taxis. 2 weeks ago, I started moving in private cars. Even the one that has brought to me is a private car. All my private vehicles, including taxis, I impounded. I impounded them 2 times. Why? I know how these people behave. If you want to study this mafia, study the volcano. For us who know that the volcano is about to explode, because I've told you, Bobby Wine denied them money from security. There's not powering of tear gas and related equipment. I think the right police is out of action. But why? And 2, the argument is, if you people believe that Sewanyana and this man are behind terrorism, let the terrorism continue.
Kino kyebagamba police kyegamba nti nno tebasobola kuliikinga kyabadde Komambogo ne IC kikwataganira wana ati
I did criminality. Certain causes I'm doing them myself. When such an incident occurs in Europe, what happens? 1, you study the debris. We have 2 things. Hallmarks. Al-Qaeda has its hallmarks. Al-Shabaab has its hallmarks.
Okay.
And the local mafia has its hallmarks. What are the hallmarks? I told you. Every murder in Uganda has 4 characteristics. A woman must be involved.
Okay.
A border is involved. They move a
border.
Why? A border is escape.
Okay.
But the borders are they get 4 borders, change the parts at 1.
Kawanda.
Bakwata boda 3 ne bazijjamu emu ne bokwata emu tosobola kuzuula
ndala.
3, normally on Friday, normally when there is a presidential address, they strike to accuse them of being pigs because they want Museveni to comment on them. Ask any opposition leader. Bwaberawo munnabyabufuzi of opposition ajja kugamba I benefit more if Museveni talks about me. Reverse psychology. Let Museveni go to a constituency and castigate and blast the opposition. He will win. Oyo yamunyiga ke kayinja mu ngatto. They provoke Museveni to talk about them. That's why they strike before he is going to address.
Bamanya nti agenda kwogera.
Buli lwagenda okwogera nti yavaayo n'agamba oyo omusajja yali yambaye ebyayero yani. National address, this when we talked about him. By the time he came to talk about the budget, the man was dead. We study hallmarks. Al-Qaeda is headed by highly intelligent people. Al-Qaeda cannot plant a bomb in a bar in a Christian dominated country like ours. It will backlash on the Muslims. Al-Qaeda can kill an Islamic kirariki, but cannot attack a Poco joint. They are highly educated. Al-Shabaab, the same. Al-Shabaab reacts.
Tebakyusa mu bukodyo okubuzaabuza.
Nti nze I can tell obusa bw'ente obw'omusu obwaki kuba mwihanta. Kakati this is and how the next person in intelligence, criminality, you study the scene of crime. 40% of evidence incriminating, exposing the person involved remains at the scene of crime. In Uganda, it's 60% that remains at the scene of crime because they are amateurs. And what is it done? Is it done by security agents knowing it very well? They will not be arrested. Abo bonna bemulaba mu bus abakubiddwa bomu babatta. Buli lwalabanga balumbye petrol station oyo omuwala yabadde mu bbala waabwe baleka bamusse to conceal evidence. The dead, you trace the dead. If you trace the dead abafudde, you trace the passenger from where he boarded the bus, you arrest these people because they know they're not going to be arrested. Kakati debris tuzikwata. Yes. Netuzikwata ntukwamanya. These people, they know where you find Al-Qaeda. If you find emizikiti ejinyirira with a handsome killers, Al-Qaeda cell is there. Yes. Al-Qaeda temala kuwestinga resources zayo. Why should the Islamic State attack Uganda? Because even if we accommodated the ISIS, Banabachi, ADF, Uganda, they were chased away. Economy minister said, economy minister in Uganda, Ugandan men is happening. Are we seeing Arab for the first time? The first Arab to come to Uganda, Ahmed bin Ibrahim came in 1848. Yes, sir. 1848. We are not seeing Arab. In fact, in Uganda, like me, I'm chased away from our teaching as a Uganda man. I cannot get engaged in the Arab affair with omukazi omweru ennyo. Lwaki? Musambwa. Buli mukazi omweru nnyo abamusambwa. Baganda men are scared of very good. Bagala baddugavu. We are trained as younger men to avoid these people. Era Abaganda bagamba nti abakyotala bakuba obwavu. No. Abakyotala tebakuba bwavu. But a skin must be maintained. Yes, alya mukyere. Is difficult to maintain. Tebakuba bwavu. Abasobola tebakuba bwavu. Babel expensive. Many Ugandans hate the Mercedes Benz. Tetundika. Am I a car dealer? I have them. Spare you. When I analyze as a security expert, then I move to the third point. When an incident occurs, security people, experienced people like me, after examining the debris, we go to one question: who benefits from this incident? Is clear. If you had a smart security organization like a MISO, you would arrest these fellows. Why? Why are they moving into security? Why are they striking when schools are opening? Simple. Commercial. Our terrorists are commercial terrorists. They know. You are now going to have security gadgets to check passengers. As these security people lose the business on tear gas, they are moving somewhere. Mafia, abagamba nti nno works of ADF tekibayo. ADF has a faction in Uganda which is hired. The people are killing these Ugandans, ADF, but they are paid for. The people who wanted to assassinate Nachovi came from an island. I was following them from an island. They brought bazookas. This guy is sad. And I have recordings about them. Video and the audio. Kino kiri commercial bya sente byanfuna. Commercial because when I analyze who benefits from this incident, one, they have targeted the transport. And we are going to open the schools. Yeah, true. Now what you are going to do, to check luggages, you need to security gadgets. Yeah, true. Two, you are going to get school fires. Better equip your fire brigade. Let all the schools buy fighting equipment. But if you have if I heard ISO, any of the security organizations, then I would ask, the moment the government announces that ensure that your social place is like a bus, you must have security, you must have these gadgets, but they are already in the country. Was this businessman who is going to supply these items that are needed today, was he visited by Satan? Was he visited by Angel Gabriel to stock? Because it does not work in the weather forecast.
Area stock is a gadget says. Area stock is a fire machine. Area biri kunsalo.
Webiri mustoa. When you talk about Bijambia, yes. Rwanda, the originality of Bijambia, we would suspect Rwanda. But President Kagame Rukusifa, he crossed the border. So the Bijambia, are they manufactured, locally manufactured, or the Bijambia are bought from hardwares? Has the security investigated the originality? Who imported the Bijambia? You see, when Kaira was assassinated, they brought a sergeant from Scotland Yard. When Ouko was assassinated, they brought a sergeant. No, M16 Scotland Yard does not force a corpse to talk. They just use the information I use as a trained expert.
Kakati kino kigatta otya n'okwogera kwa president kuba ogambye nti no byabadde komambuga twabirabye byabadde mpiki twabirabye kati obigatta otya n'okwogera kwa
Let me tell you, I told you this volcano. Why is it that Chisaka in Kampala State Council and Nalweso have frustrated all efforts for taxi drivers to unite? Because in intelligence, we look for an abnormality. Any leader would like to make sure that the taxi drivers unite. But because the next target was in the transport, all the effort Kisaka and the Narweso have frustrated the effort to unite the taxi drivers. And the next day, the taxi can Museveni swallow the bitter bit and arrest the Narweso.
But they want them united.
I want, even this man has been talking. This man has been talking. Driver, Namugoba. He disappeared on Friday, came back on Tuesday without knowing that that vehicle is on satellite.
Okay. Mbadde nkusaba. Kati bannayuganda bakola batya tukole tukulaba nga twekuuma bya bomu tukole tutya what is the way forward ku nsonga eyo.
These are business terrorists. There is no involvement of foreigners in Uganda. Why? We don't have an Arab population.
Yes.
Tewali. We don't, the only people we have are Somalis.
Yes.
Somalis.
Mpulira.
The Rwandese, come and talk.
Yes.
Because it disrupts me every time.
Over the Rwandese.
I've told you.
Yes.
The Rwandese cannot destroy Uganda because the fallback opposition to them is Uganda.
Okay.
It took the Tutsis 50 years to go back to Kigali. It can take the Hutus 100 years, but they will go back to Kigali. And the Tutsis will come back to Uganda. Like the Israelis went back to Jerusalem after 600 years. The permanent place of the Tutsis is Uganda. So you know. I told you that you people, if you have an intelligent security man, President Kagame, who is very, very tough on hygiene, because one way Rwanda is not spending much money on health. In many cases, the approach eliminates diseases, because most of the diseases come out of unhygienic conditions. In Rwanda, it is perfect. A man like President Kagame, who is interested in the health of his people, can he allow prostitutes every weekend to be brought to Uganda?
No.
babadde tebagenda e Rwanda ne bajjayo abawala
babadde bakikola bamu
ng'ate one of the main destinations of these Banyarwanda beautiful girls near Makindye Barracks. I said, are these commandos or prostitutes?
ekyo kikyo
Anti kinkubuulira
kikyo
intelligence nga nze njirimu ate siyinza bakolera siyinza bakolera mmwe siyinza kudda mu gavumenti mwe mukiyiwe ekintu kyammwe mukizanyiremu ati
kitegedde bulungi
nti Nalweyiso and Kisaka have frustrated efforts for the taxi drivers to unite. Me, I knew, judging from like a volcano, I knew that the target now is transport. That's why 2 weeks ago I returned their vehicle and I said, I'm scouting for military policemen to drive. I impounded all my taxis. I impounded all my vehicles. I started hiring, which cannot be marked, which means I'm ahead. The organic case, I was watching them the whole of yesterday. Don't blame me. I offered you that I will never give evidence against you, but you are sitting on my money. Well, if you recover my shirt from a thief, do you sit on it?
No.
The president gave me money. Somebody took it, has forced him to surrender. You are sitting on it. You attack, you like attack. I want this money.